All right, we got one more question then. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Hit me with a good one, Belinda.
Okay, good. I hope it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure it will
So you as a coach,
be. Oh, okay.
tell me what you bring to the table.
It's a good question. Yeah. Well, I would say I'm genuine and honest, and what you see is what you get. I'll bring to the table what I've experienced. You can only take a client as far as you've gone, and I continue to do my work, but a lot of it comes down to from a place of love, you know. So what I'm bringing is my own experience that I've had in this life that is used to be of service in a way to help other people experience what they want to create in their lives. So I'm a work in progress, just like every other person underneath the sun in this earth world, in this earth school we're in. And most people who'd ask that would say, well, you have a scientific background and an intellectual mind and formally trained in academics. And so you know how sciences and the intellect really work, but you do bring in the intuitive aspect as well. So you have a strong masculine and intellectual side that you honed in earlier in your life. And now you're really procuring that feminine intuitive side and working on both hemispheres of the brain to communicate, as well as the heart. So really balancing out the intellect with the heart to bring in a scientific, logical, rational mind into spirituality to balance out so that you can have a scientific approach, a spiritual source guided approach, but a scientific approach as well that's specific to the client in a way that gives them a foundation of both logic, intuition, and intellect as well. So that would be the one thing that I would say it's pretty strong that I has become an innate process.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'm like, why the heck did I have to train my intellectual side so long and so hard and be ego driven for so long? And I had a Swami tell me that that's to crystallize the intellect. So he wanted to crystallize the intellect as fully as possible. And then at that point, try to balance that out with an intuitional aspect. And I have a friend who also has gone through this, who's in the intellectual side as well. And finding resolution between those sides would be really a good thing as well. So the resolution between the mind and the heart and balancing those out in a way where you find wholeness, where the parts of yourself, that's what I mean by parts of yourself. You have the intellectual side, you have the intuitive side, left and right and left brain. You have all these different things going on. You have the ego, the conditioning, you have your mentality, you have your subtle energy bodies. So there's so many things going on that it's all about bringing a synchrony to those moving parts. And then as a result of that synchrony, that's what I mean by synchronize the self, you become more whole because you feel more whole because things are working together. There's not as much conflict. There's more oil oil in the machine for the cylinders to pump. And so less friction, less resistance. And then that wholeness is greater than the sum of the parts. That's kind of just a structural way of looking at it. And then you can go ahead and produce those virtues of consciousness that you want to experience, including joy and happiness. And don't get me wrong, it's an ongoing process. And I have a commitment to continually doing my work so I can bring and offer more and more as I evolve on myself. So it's not like you reach a certain plateau and you're done.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continually be bringing in what I can to offer, and then being just a container. So I don't put myself up on some sort of talking or consultant stage where I'm going to give you a bunch of information. This is a mirror. So my approach is to have that mirror divinity where my job is to create that container, that healing container, facilitate that container with you as a partner in this process, and then to be a mirror and reflect back to your fullest potential and what you want and where you want to go. And then reflect that and build and ask questions and dig and dig and dig. So you can build this yourself, reflect that, and then embody that reflection in your life. That's basically what I'll be bringing the best I can. And it's a very simple approach, but very effective and the most empowering. And I don't know any other way to go about it. So I go about ways that I know how. So that's my approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a recipient of that,
Yeah.
you're my coach.
Yeah.
I've been very blessed to be like the student or the recipient of this container that you've allowed. It's been an incredible experience.
It's been incredible. Yeah. So it's been incredible to have partnered up as coaching buddies. And it's been a really synergistic experience. We really feed off each other really well too. So we have that energy, and it's different. So each client's different. Each energy is different. So the intuitive source guided parts where that energy field comes in, and you create a container, and those energy fields open up, and there's a communication energetically that doesn't even happen verbally. And that directs, that directs the verbal, the energy directs the verbal to create something that otherwise can't be created unless your presence is there. And this can be done through Zoom very easily. So and you have a very powerful intuitive ability. And we go to some really great places.
Well, ditto. Absolutely. So anyway, this was, that was fantastic. Beautiful. How you said that was really, really beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Belinda. I appreciate that. All right. So I guess that's it for questions today. Can you go ahead?
Well,
any closing words?
Not really.
Okay. I'm just going to say thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.